everyone, welcome to another process video. I'm Jenny and today I'm doing a mixed media layout. So I am ripping up some washi tape at the moment and keeping some of it like the full width and some of it I'm just ripping in half so that I've got some jagged edges, and I'm just building up some areas to give a little bit of visual interest. And where I'm building up, one of them will be where I'm going to put my photo and the other will just be a place of interest to the page. So at the moment I'm thinking that I'm going to put my photo up the top, but you will see that I actually turn it around. So I'm using some paper today from a collection from 7 Dot Studio, and I'm using this beautiful sort of aqua minty green colour, and I'm going to build it up with not lots of watercolour, but just basically I'm using the colour in this background, which was already really pretty and watercolory looking anyway, and I'm just going to build it up a little bit. So I've got my gesso out here and I'm just using that with my fingers straight from the jar, and I'm rubbing it in. It looks pretty bright at the moment, but it does dull down a lot, and you'll see that I have actually turned the page to how I had it before. And I'm now adding a little bit of a script stamp with some archival black ink. So the archival black ink is a permanent ink that will stay. If I wanted to add some liquid on top, like some watercolors, it's not going to move, but I don't end up doing that today. So just adding some different stamps. So I've added a little bit of a script stamp, and I'm just making sure that all those washi bits are stuck down. And I'm grabbing this stamp, or I'm trying to anyway. It's an old one from, and I can't think of where it's from, but it's an older stamp and I couldn't actually even get it off the the clear acrylic back piece. It's actually a Bo Bunny stamp and I couldn't actually move it off the backing, so I just left it on there. And then I've got this stamp here, which is an arrow, and I am trying just adding a little bit of texture with that. And it is from, just having a look, Scrappy Happiness. It was a stamp club by Drew Scott that I used to belong to, and just adding a little bit of extra texture with that stamp and adding some dark elements to the page. So I'm just slowly building up little bits of texture and different dimension and adding some not so much texture that you can feel, but adding visual texture is what I'm doing now. So I'm adding a navy blue Prima chalk ink as well with this little sort of chevron stamp, and then I decide to pull out a Tim Holtz stencil and use some modeling paste or texture paste. Now this texture paste that I have right now is just about dead, so it was so wrong. It was the consistency was like rubber. You can see there that I had to actually push it through the stencil and scrape it off. So it's ready to be thrown out, and I've got some more on order. See, it's all sticking to my fingers, but I have to wait until I get some more in. So I've just gone off and washed my stencil and everything and come back, and it's all dried, and now I'm just deciding that I want to have some torn edges for my matting. So I've just grabbed some bits of paper that I think will coordinate and from the same collection, and I'm just ripping that up. So the paper was actually really thick sort of paper, and so when I was ripping it, there was a lot of white core underneath that was able to be seen, which I really liked the look of. So it keeps a bit of white to the page. And so I'm just trying to work out how many layers I want to put on there, and I just squirted a bit too much glue, so I added it to the bottom bit as well. And I'm just sticking these little strips down, and I've got a little bit of cardboard there that I had cut up before and put some double-sided tape on it to give it a little bit of dimension. to the page. Instead of using some foam tape, I've just popped it up on a little bit of cardboard, which I have seen lots of people doing. So it's a good way to use some, recycled bits and pieces that you might already have at home. So I'm just going through some die cuts from a few different 7 Dot Studio collections, and I'm pulling out some die cuts and some sticker elements as well, and just making up some layers to this page. So I want that dream to show underneath the photo there, and I've cut a tag in half so that I've layered them underneath, and just having a look at what else I might use. Got a little bit of a doily that I had sitting to the side, and here I've decided, before I continue to build up the layers, that I will actually commit to sticking down what I have already got on my page. So just doing that and sticking that down with some foam tape so that if I do want to move it from that position, I can, whereas the wet glue is pretty, once it's stuck and it's not going to be moved. And here I've just decided to add a pop of orange to the page as well, and because a lot of it is the green and neutral, so would have a bit of a pop of bright colour to the page. So I've added that doily and just sticking down that photo mat now. So I have committed to that and just working out where I'm going to put a few other little elements. So I decide that I'm going to concentrate on the top cluster up there. So I just stick the circle sticker down onto that half cut tag, and then I will trim that branding strip off and whatever hangs off the top of the page. So just doing that now. So this layout actually was really quick. It only took about 45 minutes to do, which was pretty quick considering it was a bit of a mixed media layout, and I really had no idea what I was doing apart from I wanted to try the washi tape technique, and that's all I had in mind when I started. So it came together pretty quickly. So I've just pulled out some cotton, and I'm just adding some cotton to just simple sewing cotton, and I'm adding that to some different areas of the layout to just give a little bit of textural difference to the page, add something else to it. And I'm just having a look on this sticker sheet, and I think I need to have a little bit more orange, so I'm just adding that into some various places on the page, and just to bring your eye around the whole page and have a few little pops of colour. So I go back to this washi tape that I used before, and I actually use all of that up. So that little pack of washi tape had been gifted to me by Kelly Barron, who is on YouTube. So go and check her Facebook page out. She has some gorgeous layouts, and she sent me that tape from her stash. So I was happy to use that and used up the whole little blue chevron-y pattern, or the striped pattern it was. So I've just added that, tore some little pieces up and adding them to those places on the page where I add the pops of orange, and I end up pulling out my wet glue and just sticking them down because the washi tape got a little bit stuck to the paper, and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to peel off my page. And so now I'm just adding some more gesso to those areas that I have just added the washi tape to, and just to make it cohesive with the rest of the page, so that there's the muted white throughout the page. And so just dulling down some areas that I think might need to be dulled down, or extending out the little sort of white cloud a little bit. So just popping it where my eye would like to see a little bit more white. And then I pull out some more cotton, and I'm going to put a little bit underneath the dream card at the bottom. So just putting a little bit of glue to hold that down, and you can't see the glue once it's actually dried, so it holds it down very well. It's just a little bit sticky to work with sometimes and sticks to your fingers, and that's what I'm doing there. And I think I pull out my stamps, probably just looking for my stamps under all this big mess. Aha. And so while I was looking for the stamps, I found this navy blue gelato that I want to use, and it is a metallic gelato. So I'm just adding that with my finger, rubbing it into the gelato and then straight onto the page, and adding, it's sort of a navy blue, but it looks, more like an aqua. It looks navy blue in the tube, but it actually goes on like an aqua color. So it actually is perfect for this page. So just adding that to various parts where I have got the washi tape and just bringing that color into the layout. So I just add a little bit more up there, I think, just fussing around with that cotton a little bit. So as I was putting on the gelato, I moved the cotton from where I wanted it to go. So I'm just making sure that I have got that secure. And what am I doing now? So adding a little bit more stamping. So I'm pulling that arrow stamp and I'm just adding a few little spots of stamping where I've got those washi bits and pieces. And like I said, to help it look cohesive on the page, make it all look the same, and just adding that little script stamp as well. And then I think that I'm pretty much done, and I pull out my black ink, and that is it. So, for a mixed media layout, this came together really quickly. The washi tape is a really fun and effective way to have some different dimension to the page, and I think that, I really like this page. I think it came together pretty quickly and looks really good. So I will leave you there, and thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.